Didn't Frederick Douglass face a lot of controversy from his own abolitionist friends for marrying a white woman?
Yes, it is true that Frederick Douglass faced criticism and controversy from some of his abolitionist friends for marrying a white woman. At the time, interracial marriages were not widely accepted, and many white abolitionists and black abolitionists had different views on the issue. Some saw interracial marriage as a threat to the struggle for racial equality, while others saw it as a way to challenge and undermine the deeply ingrained racial prejudices of the time. In Douglass's case, he faced criticism and even ostracism from some members of the abolitionist community for marrying a white woman, and he was accused of betraying his race and compromising his commitment to racial equality. However, Douglass defended himself against these criticisms, and he and his wife Helen lived together in a happy and loving marriage for over 40 years. It is worth noting that this controversy highlights the complex and evolving attitudes towards race and interracial relationships in the 19th century, and that Douglass's marriage was a personal choice that reflected his own beliefs and values rather than a political or ideological stance.
People often get on white people for being against interracial marriage, but blacks are against it in equal rates, and in the end, if effective, you end up with white and black people not being able to marry each other.
It's true that people of all races, including black people, can hold prejudice against interracial relationships. However, it's important to recognize that historically, black people have faced systematic oppression and discrimination based on their race, which has included laws that prohibited interracial relationships. So while it's true that people of all races can hold biases, it's important to understand the larger social, historical, and political context in which those biases exist and how they are shaped by systemic inequality.
I ask because many abolitionists were against Frederick Douglass and his second marriage.
It is true that some abolitionists were critical of Frederick Douglass' second marriage to Helen Pitts, a white woman, which occurred in 1884. Some white abolitionists and black leaders, including his children, were concerned about the social and political consequences of interracial marriage. They argued that such marriages could further divide the already strained relations between black and white communities, and that Douglass, as a prominent leader, should not set a precedent that might harm the cause of racial equality. However, it's important to note that many abolitionists were in support of interracial marriage and viewed it as a natural extension of their belief in racial equality. Douglass himself had long been an advocate for interracial marriage, and his second marriage was seen by some as a testament to his commitment to that cause.
Well, is it technically interracial marriage if Douglass is half white?
While Frederick Douglass was born to an enslaved black woman, his father was believed to be a white man. Therefore, some people may not consider his marriage to a white woman as an interracial marriage since he himself was of mixed race. However, during Douglass's time, many people believed that any marriage between a black person and a white person was an interracial marriage, regardless of the racial identity of the black person. Additionally, the opposition to Douglass's second marriage likely had more to do with the fact that his first wife was black and the disapproval of interracial marriages in general, rather than his own mixed-race identity.